Meg Thee Stallion, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, had a concert here in Detroit. And boy, I will tell you, the amount of big backs that was walking to that show was insane. Maybe God was trying to do some water main breaks in order to prevent all of the zestiness and the big backs from showing up. Yo, I'm going to have to introduce to our city council a weight requirement for walking on the pavement because y'all messing up our infrastructure, which is probably leading to these water main breaks.
Okay, did y'all just hear that? Because you know we have to talk about this. Spoiler alert, I don't like it. Absolutely not. Let's talk about it.
Had the first break patched up and some water was restored. Atlanta's water system provides water for 1.2 million people. Those living within 50 square miles in the heart of Atlanta have had no clean water to drink since Friday. There's water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Lots of water.
Lots and lots of water.
Can he drink any of it?
Nope.
City officials have put some of the blame on decaying pipes. Others were unhappy that they didn't immediately hear from their mayor, Andre Dickens. Saturday night, he issued a state of emergency.
We actually definitely understand your frustration.
I'm upset.
Among the mayor's critics, rapper Megan Thee Stallion, whose Friday and Saturday night shows at State Farm Arena were canceled.
That's really crazy that a major city in the U.S. is going this long without no water.
Now, you know, let me tell you something. One thing we know about black people and Meg Thee Stallion fans, let me tell you something, bro. Meg Thee Stallion recently had a concert here in Detroit, right, at Little Caesars Arena. And I was so amazed at the show out and the turnout. And I met a lot of people. I met some state reps that I'm staying in touch with at the restaurant and stuff like that. But Meg Thee Stallion, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, had a concert here in Detroit. And boy, I will tell you, the amount of big backs that was walking to that show was insane. Maybe God was trying to do some water main breaks in order to prevent all of the zestiness and the big backs from showing up. Because I'm telling you, boy, the support is incredible. I didn't realize that her presence and that she was making as much money and she had as much of a fan base, they were showing out like it was a Beyonce concert. I said, look at all of these big girls. I didn't know Detroit had this many big women that was walking to the Meg Thee Stallion concert. Because, you know, they was parking a little bit further out. And then I got my office down here and then I got my spot. And so I was like, man, what is all of these big girls doing here? Honest to God, I was saying to myself, I said, who are all of these female football players walking to Little Caesars Arena? Who's over there? And so lo and behold, I jump in my car and I zoom past and I look at the big old billboard and it says Meg Thee Stallion featuring Glorilla and some other people. I said, because I know Lizzo ain't on tour right now. And I was trying to figure out what in the world because usually you see all of the nice, petite, pretty girls or the girls that's making an effort. Even if you're not real small, like you could tell they're making an effort and they working on it. They doing their Pilates. They got their yoga in the park. They working hard. But I started seeing all of these sumo wrestlers walking down the street. And I said, what is going on? Honest to God, I said, hey. And why are they almost naked? Skirts was up to here. No couth. No couth whatsoever. So, I mean, I know we're talking about the Atlanta water main break, but I'm just telling you, I was highly concerned about what was going on in Metro Detroit. And I said, yo, I'm going to have to introduce to our city council a weight requirement for walking on the pavement because y'all messing up our infrastructure, which is probably leading to these water main breaks.
Okay, this whole crisis in Atlanta makes no sense. Why is Atlanta's infrastructure so bad in a country that's supposed to be quote unquote rich? And why is the commentator not talking about the actual important matter and instead wants to focus on the women minding their own business going to participate in a Megan Thee Stallion concert? That I don't understand. Why can't bigger women just live. This is the thing. It's not like fat shaming is not built into our culture. We're literally conditioned to make fun of and laugh at bigger people. But when it comes to plus-sized women, they can just be living their life, minding their business. Meanwhile, some man or woman, but often I see a lot of men doing this, they're going to look at the women and shame them for just living their life. And I have to say, naturally, a lot of us are conditioned to think something negative, but what you choose to do after that is your choice. You can think something and decide not to say something publicly and continue the cycle of negative opinions towards a certain group, right? But to go on, especially in this case where the topic is, hey, Atlanta has so many water issues that Megan Thee Stallion can't even perform at a concert because y'all got issues down there and we need to fix this. But to focus on women that are going to the concert that happen to be bigger women to you, in your opinion, and they don't fit maybe what you think women should look like, is wrong. Because to me, it's like this. Why can't certain people just live? Just like the people that are complaining about, you know, being black and out and about and all of a sudden someone's bothering them while they're just out being black. Well, bigger people and bigger women especially may be out and about going to the Megan Thee Stallion concert, and for some reason people are doing things like these next videos while bigger people are just minding their business. And yes, I get it, being black is not changeable. Meanwhile, being bigger, if it's weight based, it is changeable. But I'm making a point here that just as a certain person may want to be out and about and not be bothered, that is the same case for bigger people. And I don't understand why folks feel the need to go towards someone that is a bigger person and play in their face.
So there was a BBW's pool party in Dallas over the weekend that I couldn't go to. And I've been seeing a whole lot of videos and buzz about it. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I go and read the comments. I don't know why I do it, but I just do. And it's so funny. Y'all applaud people being exclusionary and discriminatory towards big women in certain establishments. But now that we have more and more spaces that are curated specifically for fat women and the people who love us, y'all still mad. And it makes me frightened, I must admit, especially with this increasing violent rhetoric against fat women on these podcasts and how it gets all these people riled up. Something that I know, being a woman and being black my whole life, when we have spaces curated specifically for us, people get mad and they come and burn it down. And I'm afraid that we're going to be susceptible to more violence than we've ever been.
What do people expect folks to do? You're bigger, so you just stay in the house all day? And they really don't need someone to tell them, hey, did you know you're fat? They don't need that. And oftentimes people, whether you're big, thin, slim, athletic, whatever, we oftentimes already have our own issues with our body, our own reservations about ourselves because of all manner of things, right? We don't need someone else. We don't need someone else adding to it. And I was just so annoyed by this video because I was listening to this commentator about some of the political topics. And I was like, okay, I'm vibing with them. And it's just so annoying to see this one video where they're going in on bigger women for no reason. It's not even the topic of their content. And I get it. It's YouTube. You get people upset. You get people angry. It makes for better content. Unfortunately, that's the world we're in. But I just had to speak out about it. I don't think this is right. I want you to watch the videos that I'm showing. But I want to just take this moment to listen to some of the voices and some of the struggles that women specifically have. Take a look at the videos. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to y'all later.
Tell me the wildest way you have ever been fat shamed.
Okay, I had to share. I have so many of these stories, but this one is probably one of my favorites. So I was in college. I honestly probably was 120, if not 140 pounds less than what I weigh now. So I was looking thin in comparison. But I was in college and I was a theater major at this particular school. And I had a job on campus as the student treasurer for the theater department. And part of my job requirements were to show up to couple events each year with our donors and our alumnus, and basically just, you know, chat and schmooze and talk about upcoming artists and basically trying to get them to donate more money to our program. So one of these events, I was standing in the corner serving wine to our guests, and my boss was actually standing right next to me. And this older woman comes up to my boss, and who clearly knew who she was, and they started chatting. And this woman was probably in her 70s, maybe early 80s. And they chatted for a while, and I stood there very quietly and respectfully with a big smile on. I was dressed up very nice. And I offered this woman a glass of wine, which she happily accepted. I said, "Hello, how are you?" I introduced myself, and that was the extent of our conversation. As she was wrapping up her conversation with my boss said, "Oh, so-and-so, make sure you check out our dessert table. We got these amazing pastries from," and she said, "the local bakery." And this woman, as she was walking away, stopped, turned very dramatically, and said, "Oh, I could never indulge in such sweets. I would end up looking like her if I did," and pointed to me, standing in the corner with 2 bottles of wine. And she said it so loudly that the entire room had to turn and look who she was gesturing to. You know, the whale in the corner with a bottle of red and a bottle of white. And my boss just looked at me horrified, but also saying with her eyes, like, "I really can't do anything about this. Like, we both would lose our jobs if we did anything in this moment." So, yeah. I just had to stand there and take it. I probably turned 19 different shades of red. And yeah, this woman kind of just looked at me, laughed, and walked away after making such a comment. You know, and I just was merely existing. I said nothing to this woman. Just my presence in a larger body truly offended her to her core. So, yeah. Yeah. Love it.
An old white lady came up to me today as I was sitting down, and she said, "How old are you?" I said, 23. She said, "Why are you big?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "You have a really pretty face." I said, "Thank you." She said, "But why are you big? You're so young and you're so big. You should exercise and lose weight." I said, "Thank you. Thank you for that." She was like, "Yeah, you have such a pretty face. You need to go on a diet because you're so big." And I said, "Thank you. Have a nice day." And then she walked away. And I sat there and I just couldn't even like absorb that. I just kept on going what I was doing. And it wasn't until like 30 minutes later when we were at a restaurant and I was trying to order my food. I was eating, I didn't even feel like eating. I just got really sad because that has never in my entire life happened to me before. That random person.
The other thing that should be discussed is the topic of influencers that are thin talking down to bigger women, especially, in a way to help encourage them to lose weight. So there are some that may seek out influencers like this as a tough love approach to help them reach their goal of weight loss. Meanwhile, others may feel differently about thin influencers as they're talking down to women that are bigger. There could be different motivations behind it, positive, and some may say negative, but would love to hear your thoughts about influencers like Karmalitafox and others who are thin women and have never been really big on the big side, but their focus is to help encourage bigger women to lose the weight as they see that is the better option for women to live a better life. Obviously, we know about pretty privilege and the privileges that come with being thinner. Let me know what you think about this.